Hey everyone, welcome to Sketch-A-Day Live on this beautiful sci-fi Sunday. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey Applejacks. Sherry, is this your first time here? Hello, hello. I am always frantically running around, it feels like. I thought for a second I was going deaf in my left ear, and so I spent the last 5 minutes playing with my audio settings only to find out that it was just the plug. It's like, crap, am I going deaf? Am I finally at that age where stuff is stop or slowing down? Yes, Applejacks, you can send a request. I already have a request from another patron, and thank you for piping up. I have another request from another patron. Hey Gareth on Behance. I'm streaming on Behance at the same time. So I'm going to do that one first. Sci-Fi Slug. Ooh, okay. I'll do a Sci-Fi Slug, and then I'm going to do the other requests. But I'll just warm up here. The other request was from Lori. And I will Sci-Fi Slug. A little bit of a monster. I've been using more pencil lately. I feel dirty, but I've been using pencil lately, which has been interesting. I think I forgot my eraser upstairs though. Dang it. Nope, found another one. Anyhow, so I will do that. Sci-Fi Slug. And I'm going to be doing a Transformer. This was requested by Lori. Specifically, just continuing my series. I started doing illustrations of the G1 Transformers from my childhood. And let's see, let me pull this up because I don't remember the name of this one. The name of it is, let's see. Okay, they wanted me to do Devastate. Oh, Drag Strip. Drag Strip. I'm not super familiar with Drag Strip, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Hey, Kapil. Hey, Lori. I'm going to be doing Drag Strip. So I need to pull up some reference just to get a sense of how Mr. Strip here looks. For those watching anyways, I'll kind of show you. Maybe I won't even do my warm-up, my usual warm-ups today. I'll just jump in because I have an out-of-town visitor that's supposed to be here in an hour and a half. So, hour and 40 minutes anyways. So let's see. Should this work? Okay, that's better. Let's remove this one. Remove. Okay. So this is drag. Oh, why is it doing this? Why are you doing this to me today? Okay. There we go. Now you can see it. So this is Drag Strip right there. That's what I'm going to be doing. All right. So let's get into it. Anyhow, good to see y'all. Thanks for coming to hang out on this Sunday morning. I'm going to try and pull up some other images though. Drag Strip, Transformer. Looks like Drag Strip is some sort of Formula One vehicle. Something like that. Living life on the edge, no warm-ups. Yeah, I mean, I'm consistently about 5 to 7 minutes of time when it comes to warm-ups. And so I figure if I can use that time and just go for it, why not? Okay, I'm going to do my own interpretation of Drag Strip in the G1 style. All right. Which basically means that I may not get all the details and angles right and all that. Oh man, this one's even way more old school. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. I gotta show you all this. This is how simple 80s cartoons used to be. Like, check that out. That's Drag Strip. So yeah, I'm gonna do my own interpretation of Drag Strip. And yeah. We'll go from there. Like I said, I'm woefully unprepared this morning, but that's what happens when you parent full-time and you try to get your gym time in and all the good stuff. at the same time. All right, so if I look to the left here, I'm just looking at my reference images, just letting you know. But I hope y'all are well. Hope y'all are doing well. If you want to draw along, that's totally fine. Or if you want to throw tomatoes from the peanut gallery, that's okay as well. All right. Whew. I think it's loosely based on a Tyrrell P34. Okay. Guess I need to look that up too. So yeah, when I did, I'll show you the ones I did this week so you get a sense of what I'm talking about. But it involves marker, my dip nib pen, and sometimes even gouache. So I did this bumblebee this week. That was pretty fun. There's things I would change about it now, but this one's sold. Thanks for the support. You know who you are. And this one's sold as well. This is Starscream. Well, actually, I'm not sure on the bumblebee. Hit me up on that one. But Starscream sold as well. So this is Starscream. So oftentimes I'm just kind of interpreting things, and some things kind of change along the way. But you can get the time lapses of these on TikTok. I'm so close to being able to stream on TikTok, by the way. The Clock app. If you want to help me out, if you have it, give me a follow, please. I don't usually beg for follows, but in this case, I know things will take off once I can stream. So, yeah. If you want to support, you can use that link. And give me a follow. I did a sketchbook tour the other day. It's always the videos that you don't think will do well that do really well in terms of visibility, views, and all that. So I'm just using a watercolor paper. It's not my normal marker paper. The reason I'm doing this is when you have the ink. See, I've got to decide on a pose too. But when you have the ink being as like, or it's water-based anyways, and if I use a thin paper, it's going to, Tyrrell P34. Yeah, it does look like that. If I use a thin paper, it's going to mess it up, right? So yeah, that is why. Okay, let me just make sure the camera is good. All right, we're good. Cool. You've seen them on Instagram. Yeah, I've been posting on Instagram. The only reason I'm posting on Instagram actually is because Instagram actually pays you to do reels now. Facebook has no incentive for you, or I guess Meta, to post. They don't care. So for the longest time, I've just been like, whatever. Okay, here we are. Got both chats up. Dibs on drag strip. Okay. I did mention it's a request for Lori, and then I'll do the sci-fi slug. Sci-fi slug. I'm trying to decide what pose I want to have drag strip be in. Classic Transformers pose, perhaps. I want to center this on the page. Just a couple quick lines. So yeah, like I said, I've been using pencil a bit more, which has been interesting. All right, what does this chest look like? There's a Lego drag strip. Looks like there's a cockpit of some sort. Just get some basic lines down here. Of course, I'll use my eraser. To clean up if I need to. Let's get some broad strokes in. All right, looks like, oh, those are interesting arms. Okay, So I want this to be... Like this will be an arm here. He's got these like wheels on his arms. Maybe another arm here. I might redo the legs. We'll see in just a sec. Hello, Arnav. Nolan. Hey, Nolan, what's up? Good to see you, man. Yes, I know Meta owns Instagram. I am aware, but everyone calls it Facebook. I get it. It's fine. Life will go on. But yeah, there's no incentive really for... I shouldn't say no incentive, but there's very little incentive. They've recently started to change that, I think, because they've realized that people are abandoning the platform. And so they're trying to... I don't know, maybe you work for Meta, which is, you know, its own thing. But they're trying to get people to make stuff. Other platforms are, right now anyways, just a bit more... Alright, maybe he can have his gun this way. They seem to reward your efforts a bit more directly. I'll just say it that way. So it's been interesting trying to figure out this social media thing. And then of course I post about it and then people are like, wow, you gotta try doing different stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. You're missing my point, but I'm not saying you, by the way. Need my trackpad here. Okay. Yes, Facebook is the name of the app. I am aware. Alright, I'm not going to argue about it. Y'all know more than me. I'll leave it at that. When you start making content, though, you'll, when or if, you'll see what I mean. All right, just nice and light like this. So what with pencil, what's hard is you... How do I say this? Because I'm gonna want to apply marker to this, but you have to like clean it up before you apply the marker. So try not to be too heavy with it, but even then, I do have to do a little bit of cleanup before applying that marker. So yeah, see, his feet are different. I'm just doing like the default transformer legs here. And just for reference, usually these take me about 30 minutes, but you know, talking, answering questions, all of that. Hello, Kamini. Is that a Sakura Auto pencil? Yes, it is. TikTok is banned in India. That's okay. You can still see videos on Instagram. I just don't post them the same time on Instagram. Yeah, like his feet are a little different. Looks like it's kind of the foil. Something like that. I guess, the conversation here about meta is in some ways, um, it's like that's why they changed the name. So people have these arguments, and it's not just a different company. It's like the same thing. This is also a Sakura eraser. It's the Sumo. Saman, that's not true. Don't say you'll never make content. Here's why. When I started, I was definitely, and I still think I'm always learning. I'm always like trying to get better, try different tools. Now I'm using pencil. Oh, that's so weird, Spencer. It's like, yeah, because I don't use pencil, generally speaking. But you can always put your stuff out there. It'll force you to be consistent, but also like get feedback from people. Not all feedback is valuable, but at least you get something. So it'll push you to be consistent and, work harder. All right, what does this pelvis look like? I have no idea. They all have pelvises, so let's see. Except for this old school version of drag strip that doesn't have a pelvis. Really weird. Really weird. But yeah, this is how I like to go about it. I'm gonna redo this leg. I suppose that's the nice thing about pencil is I can erase. You want to have the Sumo eraser is good. You want to have like thick enough paper, I think, that that won't get ripped or messed up from all the erasing. So in this case, using the watercolor paper is nice. Like if I was using something else, I might run into that problem with the paper being messed up from all the erasing. But in this case, you don't really run into. Okay, I need to get his face. All the pictures I have, all the reference, it's like really tiny. Really, really tiny. So did you watch Transformers growing up, Lori? I mean, I don't know if that was your jam, but I'm curious since you requested. Drag strip here. Kamini says, love Japanese stationery, don't have the eraser. Yeah, they do a really good job. I've been really enjoying the dip ink pens lately. Those are pretty fun. Paper that can take a beating. Yeah, exactly. What kind of exercise did I do today? I did high intensity interval training, which is, you do like kettlebell swings and you do like ropes and stuff. Do ropes and stuff. Lunges. I did some deadlifts. I didn't get as much cardio in as I wanted, but that's all right. Had to had to rush and be back to stream. So, like I said, I have a visitor coming from out of town, so it'll just be this and a sci-fi slug. So if none of that interests you, you can peace out. All right, so now that I have most of the pencil sketch done here, it's not symmetrical. Let me fix a couple things here. Not that it needs to be perfectly symmetrical. This is where digital sketching comes in handy, where you can, like, you know, take things and scale them and whatnot. But yeah, I don't do a lot of pencil work. It's weird that TikTok is banned in India, though. I get that there's privacy concerns, but I wonder what that's all about. So now I'll just do a little cleanup here, where I know if I apply the marker, it'll get a little bit messed up. But also the type of ink I use will not play nicely with the marker. I guess I could use two different inks, honestly, but I'm gonna try and keep it somewhat consistent. Anyhow, the ink I use doesn't play nicely with markers, so I'll be using India ink. That's what I use. So a little bit of erasing here. Clean this up. I really need a brush instead of my hand, because I'm like, clean, 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 mess it up. Have y'all been watching Moon Knight? How do you feel about Moon Knight? I know it didn't get the best reviews in some of the preview screenings, but I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it with my son. We really like it. What do y'all think? Also of note is, once the marker ink goes on, I'll do like another kind of eraser run, and that's going to clean everything up a bit more. So I'll clean everything up a bit more, and then I'll do the ink, and then all the details. All right. Just want to block out some of these details here. I do need to be a bit careful with this front section, and I'll throw in some extra lines. Like I said, inspiration, not recreation. It was actually fun to watch. Yeah, check out episode 2 for sure. What is the media that grabs most attention online, digital or paper? Probably digital, because I think the thing is, like, people think, oh, if I have a tablet, I'm going to be awesome at drawing, but that's not the case. It's not the case at all. In fact, I think personally, and there's people who disagree with me, but I think that you actually get better faster if you sketch on paper first. There are advantages to digital, right? There's certainly advantages there. I'm just going to use this chart pack marker. There's advantages there, but I think it's important to understand the process. I just need to look at my reference again here for some color stuff. All right. So he's mostly yellow. Mostly yellow. This is what I'm talking about. See, I need to erase a little bit more there. Not as critical on this inside surface. And if I know something's not going to be yellow, like it's going to be gray or something, I'm not going to worry about it as much, but I do have to be a little careful here. So yeah, just going to keep it tight today. Doing a sci-fi slug after this. Applejacks, if you want to tell me about the slug, features, maybe the planet it's from, whatever you had in mind. Then I can work that in as I illustrate. Let's see. Okay. Let's get some more yellow here. I actually haven't used a chart pack marker in this process before, so this is somewhat new. It definitely has a different reaction with the pencil than the Copics, but that's all right. Okay, and it looks like there's a piece over here. Devastator would be fun to do too, but that'd be intense. So growing up, I grew up in Jamaica, and one of my favorite things was my dad would go on business trips, and then when he would go, he would try and find some Transformers toys and bring them back. We didn't have a lot, but I remember Hot Rod. So I'm going to be doing Megatron, Hot Rod for sure. I don't know if I'll do Unicron, but I'm trying to remember the name. Soundwave, you got to do Soundwave, right? You got to do Soundwave. For sure. Can't do Transformers without Soundwave. Astro Train, I think, was the name. I used to love the character. I don't love the live action movies. I tolerate them, but mostly out of like the nostalgia than anything. It's the nostalgia more than anything. So all right. I'm not sure on his pelvis, but I'm pretty sure his pelvis is yellow. It might not be though. I guess it just depends. There's all sorts of interpretations here. All sorts. I guess I could continue with the chart packs. Do I remember Menasor? No, I don't. Did you say you watched it? I missed that in the chat. Didn't watch, but your son is super. Oh, okay, gotcha. A super fan of the original series too. Because there's no way your son is my age. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. I guess anything's possible. How long has it been now? Let's see. Haven't seen Moon Knight, says Kamini. Looks intense. Loki season 2. I don't know how they're going to do that. How are they going to do a season 2 of Loki? That'll be interesting to see for sure. I don't even know how this looks on screen. Is it too bright? It is pretty bright. All right, so I'm going to take some liberties here. For sure. Fan of the original because his dad got him. Oh, okay, gotcha. Did he cry when he watched the animated movie? I remember that, and I was like, no, it can't be. Spoiler alert, Optimus Prime dies. But you know how cartoons are, they bring people back and stuff. So yeah, spoiler alert. All right, I think that's most of the color blocking, except for the face. And then now I can focus on the ink. So again, you kind of have to work a little bit backwards, and then I'll add some decals and stuff. I guess his head's purple, so I'm going to have to add that in. Do some tonal stuff here and there. I'll have to add that in. It was spring break here with me and my kids, so we kind of just hung out for the most part. Went to our local aquarium. Yeah, I don't love the Michael Bay movies, but I tolerate them. Like, I will watch pretty much any sci-fi movie. I'll just watch it, even if it's horrible. Like the movie Passengers is on my list. I've heard it's terrible, but I'm gonna watch it anyways. Okay, do I have a purple? I do have a purple. So yeah, I've heard Passengers is just horrible, but I will watch it. Also, yeah, thanks for the inspiration, Lori. Opportunity to do this. Doing these streams is a lot easier when you don't have to necessarily think of everything you want to do. Okay, I need the right blue for his face. Let's see if I can find one. And let's see here. Nope, too dark. Insert random explosions. Did you do that as a kid when you drew, or if you drew? I used to do it all the time. All right, so I have enough color here now. I'm gonna grab my other eraser because I prefer it. I'll be right back. Oh, his dad cried when Optimus died. Too cute. I've tried to get my kids to watch the original Transformers, but they don't love it. Yeah, they don't love it. Yeah, so now I'll just kind of erase here and clean up. I don't know what this eraser is, but it came with some pens I have. My inking pens. I really like it. The other show I've been watching, this is for the anime crowd, is Attack on Titan. I don't know how I feel about the slow roll and how it looks like the show is going to end, but the final episode I think should be today or next week. I don't know. Anyway, I'm conflicted about the whole thing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm conflicted. So yeah, basically any pencil lines that are under the marker stay. So I kind of have to be strategic, which is why I was, kind of erasing some of these. Some of this I'll be able to recover with the marker work and whatnot. But there you go. Just so you can see from another angle here. What it looks like. I'll show you right there. So that's kind of what it looks like without being totally blown out. It's about that bright for me, so. Let's go ahead and lock the focus. So that's what it looks like, right? So at this point now, I'm gonna take my ink. I've got a G-nib. Did that get bent? All right, I'm gonna switch this nib out. Let's get a brand new G-nib. You watched Passengers? It's pretty bad. Okay. I've just heard it's like morally uncomfortable and very questionable. So we'll see, I guess. All right, this time I'm prepared. I've got all my inks and stuff ready to go. I'll switch back to the overhead so you can see this. All right, so there it is. A little overexposed. Maybe I'll kill this light. There, that's a little bit better. This is my favorite part though. Get the ink out, because I've often said, I'm a line artist, so I quite enjoy, having the colors and then using my pen to kind of shade in, bring things to life. Gives you a chance to fix shapes too. Whatever. Just don't want to make any major mistakes here. And then once the ink here is done, I'll use my brush as well for some tonal shading. pretty fun. I know there's some red on drag strip as well. So my plan anyway is, since the yellow is so light, you can always put the red over it and the red will show up. Or I can use gouache and that'll show up too. Kamini says regarding Passengers, and it's morally questionable storyline. Yep, you heard right. I don't mind a thought-provoking movie though. I really don't. But yeah, if you've never tried a dip calligraphic pen like this before, it's super fun. Give it a try. They're not sponsoring this video, so I'm not biased in saying this, but it's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. What's up, Mystery? Are you a celebrity? People are freaking out. Are you a celebrity back home? I'm not saying that in any sort of way that's meant to be disparaging. I'm just curious. We got someone freaking out here. Mystery's in the chat. Getting ahead of myself on the hatching here. Mystery says no. Are you being modest? It's not the first time I've seen someone freak out when you join the chat, but good to see you either way. Thanks for joining in. I'm just doing a Transformer today, and then if Applejax is still around, a sci-fi slug creature of some sort. I don't know what the creature should be doing. Does it live in a cave? Is it a space slug? Who knows? Did you watch Transformers growing up, Mystery? Oh, rarely sees mystery online. Okay, gotcha. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So I don't want to get the whole thing messy. You've got to like rotate the page and stuff and draw upside down, which is always a little nerve-wracking when you draw upside down. There was this book I grew up with. It's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. And we had it, and I would look at it all the time. I always felt like guilty looking at it because it had like naked people in it, but that's a whole other thing. But my dad had recommended the book, and one of the things they recommended was drawing upside down. Interestingly enough, here I am drawing upside down. So I also want to point out I'm still learning this whole like illustration style with ink. I've started playing with watercolor as well. I just wanted to mix it up. I'm working on a big project right now that's very much in line with how I draw traditionally. And I just wanted to mix it up. So hello. Nice username. All right, so since I love sci-fi movies and it is Sci-Fi Sunday, and yeah, this is just the cadence I can work with right now until probably mid-May, and then I'll get back to regular stuff. I just have a major deadline the first week of May, and I am woefully behind. That being said, if there's any sci-fi movies you recommend, I would love to know. And then, why do you like that movie? But I'm always up for a sci-fi movie. Make a video on a car with easy tricks. There are many in my account you can look at. Dune is pretty good. I did watch Dune. I mean, it was good, but also the thing with Dune, and I get why they're doing it, because it's a massive story apparently. But I wish there was more to the movie, the one that just came out. Just a little bit more. He kept having visions of Zendaya, and I was like, I don't understand why. And then he meets her, and I'm like, okay, what's next? But then the movie kind of ends. I think it was cool that they had like really big name actors in the movie. And without spoiling it, just surprising things happen in the movie. I like that. Keeps you on your toes, so to speak. 6 books, 6 months. No problem, VJ. I don't want to turn it into Car a Day show. I did a car last week on the live, so you can rewatch that one. Today we're doing Transformers and the Slug, sci-fi slug. All right, almost there. Then I'll do the head. Then we go black ink and gouache. Gouache and wash. I probably could have done the wash earlier, but... But yeah, I absolutely love these pens. They're work to use, but the line quality is uniquely just so good. It just is. I don't have any better way to describe it. It's just a whole thing. All right, let's see. Wheels I've got to shade in. Let's do this hand and the face, and we're good. Right arm shoulder hinge. Right arm shoulder hinge. Did I miss something? Oh, right there. Maybe. I'll probably miss something on it, and I always miss something. Especially if it's a quick sketch like these are. I'll always miss something. But yeah, drawing upside down is challenging, to say the least. It is challenging. Because you got to make sure everything's right. Alright, head. I also haven't seen the new Batman, but it's supposed to like come out this week on streaming or something. So I figure, is it this week? No, next week. I figure I'll just watch it then. Thanks, Kamini. Says it's inspiring how you're using the dip nib. It's hard, but I do like the lines you get from it. Okay, I just need to look at his face. Alright, cool. Normally I would wait a bit longer for the rest of the ink to dry, but I'm trying to move somewhat quickly here, so hopefully I don't mess up your drawing, Lori. At least not too much. So once I have the lines in place, then I'm going to block in some shadows, and then I'll do some shading stuff as well. That's my plan anyways. Actually, interestingly enough, it looks like the India ink plays nicely with my chart packs. I don't see any real smudge here, so good to know. The more you know, and the more you learn. Let's get some tone in here. It does blend with wet ink though, however. So it would seem. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. I got some exciting news over the weekend. Can't talk about it yet. But trust me, it's going to be a good year. I'm excited. Just drew the Batman. Nice. Nice. All right, so now I'm just taking black ink. And I'll use this to block in any shadows. You know, things like the full black on this gun here. On the Starscream sketch I did illustrate it with the brush pen exclusively. But it's really hard to do it. So I didn't want to mess up on this one. But we can block in some spots. And then where I need to add any sort of variation, I will use the dip pen to kind of hatch out anything that needs hatching. And that's how I like to do it. That's the thing with art too, there's no one way. There's like tips and tricks, but if you have a way of doing something, just do it your way. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if anyone's telling you it has to be this way, I used to be that way actually. I would tell people, you have to do it this way. But that's simply not the case. Simply not the case. So what I just did is diluted some of the ink in some. I have this like mix of alcohol and water that I like to use with this particular ink. Just works really well. I forgot one bit here. Oh yeah, and the right arm shoulder hinge. These stripes are technically on the outside of drag strip, but I wanted to include them so it feels more like a, race vehicle. It's 2 racing stripes. Just a little something something. And let's see. Same with the outside of the arm here. Do I want to put that in? No, I'll leave it alone. Let's leave it alone. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about it, so we'll keep going. Applejacks, you still here? What's good? So the way I do requests, normally, like, if I'm doing my weekly show, not weekly, but like during the week, I'll take a bunch of requests. But right now, just kind of focusing on requests from patrons and channel members. So Applejacks and Lori are both patrons, and so they requested sketches today, so that's what I'm doing. So if you want to be able to get your request in similar fashion, think about becoming a patron. I've had some people drop out just because, life happens. In some cases, the things in life that are happening are related to circumstances beyond people's control. That's understanding, meaning things like the war in Ukraine. That's been a thing. It's been an interesting thing. So, totally get it, totally understand, appreciate your support that y'all have given me throughout the years and in the past.
Do you want your money back? Yes or no?
Totally appreciate it. Have I thought about a summer schedule? Not yet, I'll tell you why. So I'm divorced. I think Lori knows that. And this year things are up in the air because I'm not entirely sure if my ex-spouse will take my kids for summer. So there's a lot of things I just can't plan ahead right now. I mean, I plan on streaming for sure. I just don't know if it'll be daily or if it'll be, a couple times a week or what times or anything. I don't know when I'm going to be traveling, if I can travel. I have some work things to do, so a lot is up in the air for sure regarding all that. 2 streams at a time, crazy. You're like my kids who play games at the same time. I'm like, what are you? They like watch YouTube while playing games, Like, what are you doing? Stop it. Not you. You can do whatever you want, but just talking about my kids. Anyhow, so yeah, Lori, I'm not entirely sure just yet what's going to happen, which makes things a little difficult in terms of planning. Like spring break, for example. I wasn't supposed to have my kids, but I ended up having my kids. So that throws a wrench in things. And it's really, really, really hard to plan ahead. Oh, Jim Lee. Yeah, he's good. You should go watch him. I appreciate you checking in, but he's boss for sure. So good. The pandemic's been interesting in that, I've been streaming and doing YouTube stuff for a long time, but it's interesting in that you have all these like super talented creative people now. I'm like, man, why'd y'all have to join? But super talented creative people that are streaming. It's really cool. It's like when I was in school, there was nothing like that. I'm open to suggestions though, Lori. Like, I'm always open to suggestions. So, are you thinking like putting together a calendar and saying here's when I'm gonna go live, or just knowing like, okay, Spencer's live on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. Flash as a slug. I suppose that's appropriate because the next sketch I'm doing is a sci-fi slug. That's the next sketch I'm doing. As if I'm not super talented. Well, thank you, Applejacks. There's a lot of maybe it's just the curse of being like someone creative and you put your work out there. I always feel like, if only I could draw like Jim, or I just want to take this one bit of Ryan's work, or whoever it is, right? There's just always that like that little thing in your head, I guess. That's all. Nice. Crazy. Yeah, maybe I'll have to, if he has a replay, catch that. I'm sure that's an awesome stream. Thanks for the heads up. All right, Lori, I need to know. Thumbs up? You good with it? I just have a few more things I'm gonna add here. I was gonna mail your others off yesterday, but I ran out of time, and of course the post office is closed today, so. All right, couple more things. I need some highlights, a little bit of cleanup. Oh, okay. Well, I'm honored. That makes me feel happy. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'll try and think of some ways to do that. What makes sense. Have you thought about streaming, Lori? I know you've been teaching on Skillshare. Hope that's going well. Here's the over shoulder so you can see what that's looking like. Overhead light kind of blows things out a bit. All right, so I have to go a little bit lighter on the yellow, for example. And I'm going to throw in a shadow, and we'll be in a good spot. So for my shadow, what I've been enjoying doing is just using the black ink for that. But I will map it out here. Just like a generic kind of shadow like that.
I don't know her. I don't know her.
You can take a bigger brush and just kind of paint that in. Then you get the texture of the paper, which which I like. Do a Batman robot. I'm doing a sci-fi slug next. That was a request from one of the patrons, but that's a great idea. Batman slug. Or Batman robot, I should say. So Applejacks, is that where you got the idea of a slug from Jim Lee's stream? Or was that just totally random? Because what a coincidence. Or is it like National Slug Day or something? I feel like there's a national day for everything. Right? Is it National Slug Day? How funny would that be? Hey everyone, it's National Slug Day. The day we celebrate slugs. Alright, let's do some highlights. Whew, lots of work. Lots of work. So sometimes, oh shoot, I need to change my water. I'll be right back. I totally messed up my water with the black ink. All right. National Slug Day. Yeah, slug will be fun because we'll get to do some cool texture stuff with it, I think. So the cool thing about the white is it'll cover up stuff. I can dilute it if I want to create a little wash to lighten up the yellow as well. Just hit a couple areas. Sabi says, follow me. I mean, that's one way to go about it. Thanks for joining the stream. I wouldn't say it's the most effective way to get people to follow you, but slug can have tentacles. Is that true, Applejacks? Or you just want a pure slug? How pure does your slug need to be? Well, I'm just saying, Zebby, you showed up and you're just like, follow me. It's kind of a random thing to say. That's all I'm saying. You should try to draw Hush from the Batman comic book. Hush. I'm not sure who Hush is. Who's Hush? Creative liberty with the slug. Okay. I will take it. I'll gladly take it. Okay, one last thing I'm going to do here. And that is a little bit of an ink wash on the background. And maybe just a little touch up with a few lines. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not familiar with. I'm not like super familiar with Batman, I will say. As a character, all the bad guys and stuff, I'm not super familiar. Outside of the movies, like I didn't grow up watching, or sorry, well, reading Batman comics or DC really. DC was always like, I guess it's something to read. And I use the word reader very generously here because even then I wasn't like a great reader. Not my jam. Not my thing.
I stole a pen from the bank. I cried during a powder boy.
Oh,
Get it?
if I add a
Oh.
Batmobile in the background, it'll be like I drew a bat robot. I guess so. That's how his head looks, though. I'm just saying. If you look him up, that's how his head looks. You can complain to Hasbro about that one. Or maybe Batman is copying Dragstrip. How about that? How about that? Cash me outside.
I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat.
How about putting random words together come up with an idea for the slug? Red cat. Ooh, red cat. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I think. Oh, just one more thing to do, and that is my little. I like doing a little wash on the background, just a little bit. Give it some tone. And for the wash, I'm just using like watered down marker ink, or not marker ink, India ink. Just kind of have to be a little careful here. Because then it kind of feels like smoke or something. And I like that. Top tier entertainment. How about that? Cash me outside. All right. So I'm going to sign this, set it off to the side, and let it dry. And then come on. So there you go. So now we'll do our sci-fi slug. All right. Thanks again, Lori, for the idea. So I want this slug to go super quick. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. So yeah, be sure to check out the Instagram and TikTok if you have it. I have time lapses of these. I mean, they're quick time lapses, but also did these other Transformers as well. So yeah, hit me up after the stream, Lori. We'll figure it out. Okay, sci-fi slug. Let's go. Like, maybe it's a slug inspired by a sea cucumber. Have you seen those? Sea cucumbers. And if it's a sci-fi slug, it probably lives on some weird plant or something. Don't you think? And maybe it's like looking up at us or something. Do they even have mouths? I don't think they have mouths. They just have like these weird heads. But maybe I'll do something mouth-like. So yeah, maybe these are some like weird plant things in the background, and this is one of the weird plant leaves that this slug is just chilling out on. So for this one, I'm just gonna do ink and maybe just a little bit of a wash for certain parts here. And then it'll have some time to dry. And I'll fill in the rest. That was the wrong dip. Oh well. At least I did it in the right place, because this is in shadow. There's no major worry there. I got lucky though. Holy cow. Imagine if I put that black in the wrong place. That would not be fun. It would not be fun. All right, I think that's enough for now. Let's let this dry. No, what are they? What? What are these things? This is like a slug in an environment. It's on this like weird plant thing. That's all. Maybe there's like weird spores on it. I heard sci-fi slug. That was what? That's what was requested. So that's what I'm doing. Sci-fi slug. So yeah, the ink is really fun just because if you want to paint with it, you can. Or use the dip pen. It's kind of fun. Looks cute in a way. Well, you know, if I saw one of these things, I'd be like, get me out of here. Like, what if it's enormous? What if you landed in some alien environment? You know? And this leaf was the size of, I don't know, a house or something. That'd be weird. At least I think it would be weird. One weird sci-fi slug coming right up for Applejacks. Thanks for being patient. Thanks, Lori, for suggestion. Doing drag strip. Look like he's saying good morning and stretching. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see now. I see. Okay. I see what you're saying. I can see that. Of course. Would I look like I'm yelling, hurry up? No, I'm trying to be conscious about time. On my end, but also like sitting and watching for 2 hours. I feel like that's a commitment, you know? I feel like that's some kind of commitment. So I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, thanks, Applejacks. I appreciate that. I have fun with them. I wish life weren't so crazy right now, but it is what it is. Hello, Jeffrey, on the Behance. Sorry, I was focusing on the YouTubes for a bit. How are you doing? You guys, for those who watch me every week, you can probably tell when I'm like running out of energy. I get a little quieter. And I'm like just try to finish. So I like where this is going though. I will say that. I like where this is going. Did you say you were trying to draw a slug? I'm trying to remember, Applejacks. I think you said you were trying to draw one, right? Or do you just like how they look? Who keeps texting me? Let me just make sure here. I'm glad you're doing well, Jeffrey. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually really liking this, so thanks for the idea. Just finish it out. Our weird pod. Let's see. My sister just invited me to hang out. Man, my phone's blowing up. I'm glad you're doing well, Jeffrey. Glad you're doing well. I will always be grateful for if you allow me to get a little personal here. I'll always be grateful for those of you who tune in. You know, being a streamer who does creative things, it's not easy, particularly where, you know, people have short attention spans and, you know, the stuff that plays and pays, gaming. I don't do that. And I just appreciate those who hang out and stay the whole time. It means a lot. Those who lend their financial support where they can. People like Latrice, Applejacks, Lori, Tom, and others. Much appreciated. I know it's not easy out there, so I don't take it lightly. So I appreciate that and appreciate you. Is your phone or camera in the way of the drawing? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I think y'all can see the slug, right? Maybe it's so bad that it doesn't look like a slug. All right, I'm gonna try and do this the fast way. Wish me luck. I tune into artists like you and Behance and listen to the creative process while you do your writing. What are you writing scripts. Well, that's cool. It's kind of like when I would do woodworking and listen to audiobooks. It's my favorite thing to do, audiobooks and podcasts. if I'm working on something else. No, not serial killer podcasts. So just a little faster than using the dip pen. So I'll use the dip pen for another part of my slug here. But this is just a little bit faster, which is why I'm doing it this way. But yeah, I do really appreciate the support. Even if that means, hey, all I can do is watch your stream. Cool. I appreciate it. For sure. For show. I appreciate it. So thank you. Serial killer podcast. I know. People are obsessed with those. I find it interesting. I mean, I'll watch a good documentary, but some people like to listen to the serial killer podcast shows. All right, a little bit of a squint here just to check. I really do need to wrap up pretty quick, so I'll try to see what the fastest way I can do certain things is. And, the brush is just a lot faster than the pen. Even though you get some really cool lines with the pen too. I think the important thing to remember this is why I made the earlier comment about digital sketching, is it really is not about the fact that you're working digitally that you can come up with something cool. I mean, by virtue of it being a different tool and thus material, you do get a different end result, but it doesn't mean that it's objectively better. It's just different. So it's, in my opinion, much more cost effective to spend your money and time working on like just the basic skills, pen and paper stuff, as opposed to trying to like get that tablet or that app or that thing that's gonna make you awesome, or whatever it is you're telling yourself, you know. So I think it's really, in many instances, not always, I mean, it would be a lot harder to, for me anyways, to create something with a crayon. Even though I did do that experiment once. I did an experiment once where I did render something. It was a computer mouse with kids' crayons, the crayons that, or some people like to say crayons that children use. Because I wanted to show, hey, it's more about technique than it is the fact that you're using this fancy ink or whatever the case may be, or working digitally. And I fundamentally believe that. At least, I should say, that's what I've noticed in my own work, that it matters less about the tool I'm using and more about principles, ideas, and technique. So, your mileage may vary, my friends. Oh man, I made the coolest brush in Photoshop this week too. I was doing a drawing workshop for some designers, and I was talking about brush creation, and I took part of a sketch actually. I took part of a sketch, kind of like this crosshatch, and turned that into a brush. Oh man, that's so awesome. It's gonna become one of my go-to art brushes now. I was like, that's cool. I want to use that. Some real stuff. So yeah, if you're looking to get better, focus on doing a little bit every day. Even if it's like, hey, I'm going to draw for 15 minutes, or I'm going to draw for 30 minutes a day, or whatever. And, okay, my friend said they are running late, so they're like 2-3 hours behind. So I cannot rush as much as I have been rushing. Whew. Okay, so I'll work on this a little bit more. And then we'll wrap it up. So there's some things I was like, not happy with that.
From the bank, I cried during a powder boy. I didn't
Get Inception.
I didn't get Inception. Oh.
So yeah, principle. Obviously, different tools behave a little differently here and there, but it is more about principle, like trying to create a shadow core on the back of this slug, or it might
I use
be
comparisons to Hitler to win
how brush
arguments on the
strokes
internet at the drop of a hat.
in a consistent direction create texture. The light spot on the back, all of that stuff is just principles, really. Now, it does suck if you can't undo something. It does suck a little bit, but it's all principles. And also, don't be afraid to try something out. That's what I say. Okay, thanks, Lori. Take care. But yeah, I've always loved Lines. Not the mod, even though Lines the mod is cool, but I mean like the use of Lines. Also not the mod. In expressing things. Maybe it has to do with growing up reading comics or something, I don't know. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, bro.
This one would be a fun one to like take and do like a digital version of. This would be a fun one for that. For sure. Faux show. All right, where is... I can't find my white pen, so I'll have to use a white brush. Here's what it looks like at an angle. Just like that. Welcome to my desk. A view is a view. Hello. What's up? All right, take care, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Life is simple. All emotions are beautiful. What would I recommend to someone from the star's first steps in a career of footwear design? Try and get that first internship. It's gonna make all the difference. Actually, I've done footwear design for some big companies here and there. And I think, I don't know, unless it's changed a lot now, I know things like, it depends on what you like about footwear. So do you want to be doing the uppers? Do you want to do the tooling? Where do you see yourself happiest? If you like tooling, I would recommend getting some sort of experience with 3D design, CAD. So practice those skills, learn to use Rhino. That may open opportunities and doors for you. All right, so if you like doing the upper portion of the shoe, I would recommend if you like uppers, I would recommend doing lots and lots of sketching, because that's what's going to come in handy the most. You're just going to be sketching ideas for those uppers, so that's what I would do. So I'm just doing some more of these shapes, suggesting that they're off in the background. But I don't need to do the detail on the shapes. Because they're in the background. So there you go. Weird sci-fi slug in some sort of environment for Apple Jacks. Just want to fix a little contrast thing here on this leaf, and then I'm good. All right. There's my sci-fi weird slug. Has a large hump. Large hump in the back, but it works. All right, let me carefully put away my ink. So I don't want to cause another spill like we've had in the past. Thanks again for joining. So we did our sci-fi slug and also this sketch of Dragstrip, a transformer. Looks like a Batman, I get it. But that's how his head is. If you don't believe me, I can show you. That's how his head is. Alright. Thanks so much for joining and being here, keeping me company in the chat. throwing down suggestions and all of that. Much love to you. Thanks again for your support. Those who are subscribers, patrons, channel members, and so forth. You can always check out sketchaday.com for resources like videos and brushes and guides and all sorts of stuff. Even stickers if you want to support that way. And I usually end up sending extra in the order. So thanks again. Much love. Remember, passion is the process. If you learned something today or you feel inspired to try something, try it out and then break it down and teach someone. It's going to make you get better in the long run. I promise. That being said, I'm going to go have some lunch. Y'all take care. Peace and love to you. Have a happy Sunday, and I'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday. Bye, everyone.